Hey there guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about how you can professionally coat your garage floor. Not a Home Depot special, stay tuned. Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. And whether or not you're a real estate investor, this is something that a lot of people want to do these days. It's really trendy. I've been painting my garage floor for probably the last 15-20 years. I've done about 7 or 8 applications. I've learned a lot along the way. But today I want to show you how we're going to coat a new garage floor of mine using 5-step process that the pros use. In fact, this is probably one more step than the pros use, because I see a lot of pros saying they can come out and finish your garage in one day. That's just not possible. This is about a 2.5-3 day process minimum. So step one, what we're going to do is we're going to etch the floor with some sort of acid. Guys, check Home Depot, check other places, Sherwin-Williams. You can find this concrete prep, basically a citric acid. We're going to work it in with a hard brush, I've already done that here in this garage today. Step two that I'm going to start as soon as the humidity gets where I need it to be is my epoxy primer. This is probably a step that a lot of people skip. You definitely are going to skip it if you're going with a rust-oleum package for Home Depot. It's a critical step, guys. The epoxy primer goes on clear, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Step 3, we're going to actually do the 2-part epoxy paint. Step 4, we're going to broadcast flakes, and on this one we're going to go to full broadcast all the way to rejection, just like the pros do, and I'm going to show you about how much that's going to take you. And then step 5 is our finish, our clear coat sealer over the top of the flakes. Guys, stay tuned, we're about to get rolling. Guys, so if you're curious what a professional epoxy painted garage floor is going to require, it requires a lot, guys. So we got, like I said, 3 application systems. Each one of them requires a 2-part mix, either a 2-to-1 or a 3-to-1 or a 1-to-1. And then of course over here, guys, you're going to need a ton of flakes. This is something you're not going to get at Home Depot. This is about 120 pounds of flake, and Home Depot sells this stuff crazy expensive. All in, you know, they're looking at a pound of flake is like $5-6, which to me, guys, is just insane. We got to find a better way to supply our stuff. All in a 2-3 car garage, let's say a 2-car garage, you're going to be spending about $1,000 on materials, okay? And I know that sounds like a little bit of sticker shock, especially if you've gone to Sherwin-Williams or you've gone to Home Depot and bought they're off the shelf, but I can tell you the results you're going to get from this are going to be professional grade, and they're going to be high end. Your friends are going to say that pops. Number 2, this garage coating system is going to end up being about 50 to 60 mils thick, which is about, let's say, almost a 1/4 inch thick. I mean, we're talking between 1/8 and a 1/4 inch thick. It's a lot of protection for your garage floor. No matter what you're going to do on it, it's not going to peel back if you do it right. All right, hey guys, we got a break in the weather. We are going to start on application number 1, which is part 2, which is the 2-part epoxy. We got a 2-to-1 mixture ratio, so I'm going to go ahead and get that mixed up for you and show you how we're going to lay this down. This epoxy primer coating system requires a part A and a part B mixed at a 2-to-1 ratio. I suggest thoroughly mixing each part before mixing them together for an additional 2 minutes with a heavy-duty, power-driven paint mixer attachment on a cordless drill. Alright guys, what we're going to do is we're going to take that mix I just put together, we're going to pour it directly on the ground, and then we're going to finish with the medium 5/16 nap roller. I've also got a little brush here for some of the areas on the wall that are going to need to be applied manually. We're looking to lay down on this coat 5 to 6 mils of product, not a ton, but let's get started. With this coating system, we are targeting a 6 to 8 mil hang using a notch squeegee and finishing by back rolling with a 3/16 woven shed resistant roller. You can see that I pour the material directly on the floor, which saves time, and I'm using a hand brush for hard to reach places. This coating has a working time of only 40 minutes, and the cure is 12 to 24 hours. Okay guys, we got one car done. You can see that stuff was super thick, so I went ahead and went with the perforated squeegee to kind of move it around a little bit to work with it. I'm gonna go ahead and finish the other two cars of this garage, and then we'll get going on step number 3. All right guys, would you take a look at that? The epoxy primer is on. It is super thick, self-leveling epoxy primer. It's probably a little thicker than 5 to 6 in some places, guys. We threw down, let's count it, 1, 2, 5, let's call it 7.5 gallons, 2 parts here on the primer. Next up, we got the paint, the epoxy gray, and the broadcast chips domino color, which is black, gray. Hey guys, we are back for part 3 and 4 today, where we're going to be laying down the epoxy paint. It's a 2-part system. I'm going to mix that up for you guys, and then we're going to be broadcasting flakes. A couple things we're going to need today. Of course, we're going to need the epoxy itself. We got a 2-part system here. We're going to need something to open up the paint cans. We're going to need our mixer just like last time. We're going to need our paint chips, and we got plenty of those. I got about 120 pounds. Probably need about 80. This is about 15 pounds right here in this 5-gallon bucket. We're going to need our notched squeegee, guys, for spreading. We're going to need a regular roller. I went with a 12-inch this time to do the finish application. And then we're going to need a dry roller. When we get through broadcasting, we're going to press the flakes down with a clean, dry roller. And finally, last but not least, guys, if you're going to be a pro, you got to have some of these. So when you go to lay down the broadcast flakes, you're not messing up or getting a bunch of paint on your shoes. So you need to get these spiked platform shoes. I'm not sure what to call them. Anyways, we're about to get started. Stay tuned again. The epoxy that I'm using requires a 3-to-1 ratio for parts A and B, thoroughly mixed as in the first application. With this system, I also pour it directly on the floor, move the material with the squeegee, and finish with a 3/16 roller. The working time of most epoxy is 30 to 60 minutes, so you have to move quickly. Curing takes 8 to 24 hours for recoat, and a final cure takes 7 days. Now it's time to broadcast the flakes. You can see that I forced the flake on the perpendicular to floor surfaces, but it's suggested to just toss the flake in the air for the floor. The pattern will be more random this way. I'm doing a full broadcast to rejection, meaning that flakes will be left on the floor that are not a part of the finished product. In this next step, I am thoroughly cleaning the floor to prep it for the final finish. I vacuumed up about 30 pounds of extra flake during this step. Then I used a blower to get rid of any flakes that remained on the ground. Alright guys, getting ready to clean this up and put on our clear coat. That's what it looks like right now. It's beautiful. Guys, it's day 3 of the project. We're down to the final step. We just cleaned off all the rejected broadcast flakes, and we are going to put the clear coat. This is a 2-part system, 2-to-1 ratio that I'm going to throw down. I'm going to mix it up real quick, pour it down, squeegee it with a notch squeegee, and then back roll it with a 3/16 snap roller, medium roller, and the results are going to be beautiful. Again, guys, pros that come out in one day and do it like this in one day, they're not getting a Cadillac coating system. It's a system that, hey, it will look great when they finish, but will it last you 5, 10, 20 years? No. This is a 3-day process minimum. Guys, you're gonna see awesome results here in just a few. Finally, we're ready for the final application, which is as important as the first. I'm applying using the same methods as the other 2 applications. How thick you put this last coating on will affect your non-skid properties of the floor. If you want a slick glass finish, it will require about twice as much product. Most people opt for some abrasion for non-skid properties and use a little bit less. Guys, let's check it out. We are finished with the floor. It looks beautiful. Let's take a good look at that, guys. Still plenty of rough, got plenty of bite. Not gonna slip on this bad boy, but it is clean as a whistle. Guys, this is what you call better than average, like the old channel name. Just gotta get this tape up. But this is literally, I would say, better than pro quality, guys. They skip some steps when they come to a 1-day. This took 4 days, and it's gonna last forever. See you next time.